The FCC should not be threatening action against ABC or its affiliates or Disney based on Jimmy Kimmel being a jack. He's been a jackass his entire career. Social censure is perfectly appropriate. The blowback from the public, totally natural and in fact good, because Jimmy Kimmel is in fact a schmuck who should have been taken off the air 10 years ago. I do not want the FCC in the business of telling local affiliates that their licenses will be removed if they broadcast material that the FCC deems to be informationally false. Why? Because one day the shoe will be on the other foot.
I've been hearing a lot about what I need to say and do tonight, and the truth is, I don't think what I have to say is going to make much of a difference. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. I have no illusions about changing anyone's mind. But I do want to make something clear because it's important to me as a human, and that is you understand that it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man. I never would have imagined, like Ben Shapiro, Clay Travis, Candace Owens, Mitch McConnell, Rand Paul, even my old pal Ted Cruz, who, believe it or not, said something very beautiful on my behalf.
Yes, and this is what Candace Owens said about Jimmy getting cancer.
The chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, Brendan Carr, jumped up and he criticized Jimmy Kimmel's remarks. He threatened federal action against ABC affiliates who carried the show. What? Federal action if you carry the Jimmy Kimmel show? Does that seem right to you? Okay. Again, if you're on the right and you cheered this on, do you understand? We never, ever, ever should be applauding federal action when it comes to speech. Okay. We're all losing. We are all losing. You have to wake up. That's what happened. Brendan Carr of the FCC was joining Benny Johnson. And that's what he said, that he absolutely wants to make sure that people are not carrying this show anymore. And that after, one of the mergers that they did, I just see the same people are constantly being empowered. And I want to point that out to you because you have to be more conscious of that. It's like they use our emotions, left versus right, to manipulate all of us. And it's completely wrong. And it's completely crazy. And they're also calling for him to make a meaningful personal donation to the and Turning Point USA. What?
When you take a look at these, on Kimmel, the Democrats are engaged in nothing more than projection and distortion. Projection because Democrats are the ones that spend years illegally weaponizing government to silence dissent, and it is Democrats that will do it again, as they are openly telling you today. Distortion because Democrats want to blame anything other than destiny and their local TV station for Kimmel's suspension. Those businesses decided that, in their view, a suspension made sense. The reporting on this is clear. Notably, this is the first time recently that any local TV station have punished back on national programs like Disney, and that is a good thing. This guy is struggling to make it clear he has no hand in what these people were saying about him. He didn't influence any decision.
To reinstate Jimmy Kimmel Live tonight, ABC's largest affiliate owner, Sinclair, and now Nexstar have decided they are not airing tonight's show. Nexstar says it'll continue preempting the show until they see change. Quote, "We stand by that decision pending assurance that all parties are committed to fostering an environment of respectful, constructive dialogue in the markets we serve." Nexstar owns 28 ABC affiliates, including in large markets Nashville, Salt Lake City, and New Orleans. This comes after Sinclair yesterday said it still won't air Kimmel on its 40 ABC affiliates, including in Washington, D.C., Seattle, Portland, and St. Louis. Sinclair says it's replacing the show with news programming as it continues discussions with ABC. The decision to air Jimmy Kimmel Live again was reportedly made by Disney CEO Bob Iger after the company says it spent the last few days having, quote, thoughtful conversations with Jimmy after he made those controversial comments. And Disney explained for the first time why it suspended Kimmel. Quote, "Last Wednesday, we made the decision to suspend production on the show to avoid further inflaming a tense situation at an emotional moment for our country. It is a decision we made because we felt some of the comments were ill-timed. and thus insensitive. It is not clear whether Kimmel will apologize tonight, but Sinclair is demanding Kimmel issue a direct apology to the Kirk family and to make a meaningful personal donation to the family and Turning Point USA. Sinclair's demand for accountability, Disney's decision comes amid pressure from the left. Everything from boycotts to condemnations from the Screen Actors Guild.
Yes, Trump sent this out. I can't believe ABC fake news gave Jimmy his job back. The White House was told by ABC that his show was cancelled. Something happened between then and now because his audience is gone and his talent was never there. Why would they want someone back who does so poorly, who is not funny, and who put the network in jeopardy by playing 99% positive Democrat garbage? He is yet another arm of the DNC. And to the best of my knowledge, that would be a major illegal campaign contribution. I think we are going to test ABC out on this. Let's see how we do it. Last time I went after them, they gave me $16 million. This one sounds even more lucrative. A true bunch of losers. Let Jimmy Kimmel rot in his bad ratings. That is Trump. A lot of people are taking this as offense, like Trump is threatening him.
Meanwhile, I have another crazy update for you on Jimmy Kimmel's show being brought back by Disney. Sinclair Broadcast Group, the largest owner of local ABC stations across the country, says that they will still not air Jimmy Kimmel's show. In a new statement, Sinclair said, beginning Tuesday night, Sinclair will be preempting Jimmy Kimmel Live across our ABC affiliate stations and replacing it with news programming. Discussions with ABC are ongoing as we evaluate the show's potential return. Sinclair has also demanded that Jimmy Kimmel publicly apologize and donate to Turning Point USA. But I gotta be honest, this statement is not surprising at all. Sinclair is a full-blown MAGA group. Like, for example, David Smith, the executive chairman of Sinclair, donated $250,000 to Turning Point USA last year. They've also forced a lot of their local stations to read MAGA talking points word for word regarding fake news or CNN or whatever. So screw Sinclair and screw any of these broadcasting groups who continue to bend the knee to Donald Trump. As I've said in previous videos, we will remember that. We will remember the cowardice of these executives at these companies.
Forget we get busy, block the stations. You know you can do that on your cable, right? On your TV. If you don't know how, just go grab a nearby Gen Z or they'll figure it out for you. That way you can be sure never to watch any of their stations. Let all these shows that air on their stations have their viewership tank.
Let's take a closer look at one of the companies that convinced ABC to remove Jimmy Kimmel from TV. Nexstar Corporation has over 200 local TV stations around the United States. The company tends to give much more to the Republican Party than the Democratic Party.
Yes, these people celebrated like they have succeeded. What I observe here is something liberals don't understand. Putting someone to be responsible is not a problem. You should be accountable to your own mistakes. This was a mistake he made, though he has done a lot of things in the past. When I watch people like Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens saying, oh, Jimmy was supposed to be cancelled like 10 years ago, that is very important. Now, this has actually opened the eyes of people. Like, when things like this happen, you should not be able to put out some comment, especially mocking the families. What Jimmy said, struggling to cry on his show, I watched the whole thing. I didn't actually see an apology, like putting out. He cried, but to me, that was not enough. There should be consequences when you do this. I'm not calling that someone should be removed on their platforms. Just sampling them this way will make them to be responsible. Thank you guys for always being sharing on my videos. God bless you abundantly.
With all due respect to former President Obama,
is blatant censorship.
Because he says he has a team of fact checkers.
Fooling around with my right to say what I feel.
Americans, it's a part of who we are.
Because that is really something that didn't happen before.
Did anybody else watch The View? Because I think there's some drama, or they said nothing.
I'm going to say one.
Look, there are certain rules of free speech that we must all abide by. But in case anyone needs a refresher, we're going to go over the rules again.
He does not have a right to have a television show where he lies his ass off to the American people.
Well, there are repercussions to spreading lies.
Somebody to get up there, not give a speech about...
And did y'all really think we weren't going to talk about